Hi, and welcome back to Yoga Jadra, or if you've never been here before, welcome for the very first time. So good to have you here. Thanks so much for showing up, for carving out this time today to practice. If you've been enjoying these classes, please like and subscribe below. This is a passion project at the moment, so your support is really helpful for keeping everything going. It really means a lot to me. Today we're going to do a chair practice, an office chair practice. If you happen to have an office chair with wheels on it, which I know a lot of folks do, you might want to lock the wheels in if that's possible, or switch out for a non-rolly chair. Or there will be a moment when I offer to switch to, rather than using the chair, using support from the wall or another stable object. If you can take your shoes off, great. If you want to take your socks off, totally fine. We will get into a little foot action, so some moving the blood and getting into the feet a little bit. So really nice to not be wearing shoes. Other than that, go ahead and grab your chair. We're about to begin. First thing, let's just go ahead and stand right up. And we're going to shake the right hand. I'm going to shake the left hand. I'm going to shake the right foot. I'm going to shake the left foot. I'm going to do a little dance and come around in a circle and just come back down to seated. So when we're seated for a long time, or when we're in any pose for a long period of time, whether that be lying on the couch, sitting in front of the computer, standing in front of the computer, our blood and our lymph tend to get a little stagnant, right? Because they move when we move. And just getting up and wiggling around a little bit can help really bring a little bit more liveliness into our bodies. So just that movement, if that's all you want to do today, or all you want to do tomorrow, great. Or all you want to do in an hour from now, fine. That's great. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be really helpful. It's going to be good for the brain and good for the body. But if you have your time that you've carved out today, you are ready, you're here, let's do a little bit more. So let's just come to center. Let's plant our feet solidly on the earth, root down in our seat into the chair, and reach the top of the head high to the sky. And notice where the mind is. So maybe we are sitting here physically in this space, but where is the mind? Is it at breakfast this morning? Is it on something that we have to get done after work, errands we have to run? Is it planning our next vacation? Wherever the mind is, without any judgment, just seeing what's drawing your attention, and then allowing yourself to come back to this present moment, encouraging your mind to come back to this present moment. Noticing the soles of the feet, whether they're in the shoes or in socks or barefoot on the earth. Noticing the connection of the seat to the chair. Noticing the temperature of the room. The texture of your clothes. How much or how little light is in the space. And on an inhale, let's reach our arms up high overhead. You can lift or open the gaze when you're ready as well. Let's take the left wrist in the right hand and draw it across the room. And switch. We're going to take the right hand or the right wrist in the left hand and draw it across the room. Coming up through the center. Maybe on this next round you can add your breath. I'm going to take my right hand across to my left thigh. I'm going to inhale here and exhale as I reach up and over. And I'm extending. So I'm really opening in the left side, but also imagine that this right side could lift up and over as well. Instead of crunching over, it's like it's going over a big old beach ball. And switch. We'll come up through the middle. Left hand goes across, inhale, and exhale, reaches across the room. Feel the breath into that right side body, making so much space. Again, up through the breath in. I'm going to take my right hand back. Maybe I'm going to use my hand, grab the back of the chair if you have something to grab onto, or just rest behind you. And my right hand will go across my thigh, and I'll look up over the right shoulder, lengthen through the spine, and twist. Squeeze out the organs. Inhale, returns to center. And we're going to flush out the other side. It's like you're wringing out a rag. So my right hand to my left thigh, my left hand is back, squeezing out, letting space in for, squeezing out the old blood, and when we come back, there's going to be room for new, fresh, oxygenated blood. Coming up through the middle. And on an exhale, let's come down through heart center. I'm going to reach the arms out long in front, back to back. Hands are back to back. Then I'm going to stack my right hand on top of my left, weave the fingers together, draw them through past the heart and forward. So it might be a lot of work on your wrist here. Just let that be another squeeze. We're now, instead of squeezing out the organs, we're squeezing out kind of the carpal tunnel region, the wrist region, and getting all the stuff that's stuck there to move around. And release that. And I'm just going to go ahead and switch. I'm going to take my left hand on top, my right hand on bottom, bring it through and forward. Squeeze it out. What does it feel like on this side? Allow it to be its own stretch. So it might be completely different from the first side, which is totally acceptable and wonderful. And release that side. And just let it go. Okay, I'm going to come to stand. Let's come over to either the side or the back of the chair. If you have a rolly chair here, you might want to consider not using the chair at all, but rather maybe using the desk itself, or perhaps a wall for balance. And I'm going to do a little for the adductor. I'm going to take my right leg and swing it out to the side 5 times. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let it go. And hopefully you have a little more room than I do on your other side. And we'll do the same thing on the left. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to the center if you had to shift over. I'm going to step back. I'm going to actually take a full step back. And I'm going to do a variation of the dog pose. So I'm actually going to use my chair. And again, really don't want to use a rolly chair unless maybe it has locks. You could use the wall here and come down this way. I'm going to use the chair and step back and push through the heart. So I'm opening the heart. I can feel it in my hamstrings as well. This is big. This is a lot. Even if you're used to practicing the traditional down dog, this might still be a new fun opener for you. It is certainly always something, I'm always surprised at how beneficial the pose is here. This pose is here. It's kind of an Ardha Uttanasana as well. Almost return back up. And again, with the chair or with the wall, I'm going to go into kind of a modified cat and cow. So I'm stepped forward, so I'm a little closer in. I'm going to inhale to lift the heart and the tail. So I've got this big curve in my back. And then I'm going to reverse on the exhale. I'm going to tuck the tail and the chin. And again, Inhale, lift the tail, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin. One more time in your own breath. Really awesome to get the spine moving. All right, coming all the way back in. Let's actually come back to sitting. I'm going to take my right foot to my left. And this is where it's really nice to, if you have the capacity, to take your shoes off. I'm going to get into that foot a little bit and offer a little personal care. We stand and we walk around on our feet all day long, and they do so much for us. We really can benefit by offering a little back, by offering a little movement of the blood, the lymph, stretching out pressure on the fascia as well. Okay, so let's get into a couple circles. 1, 2, actually 3, and the other direction. 3, 2, and 1. And keeping this figure here, this 4, I'm going to inhale up high, and this might be great, and you might already feel it in the IT band, and you just want to hang out here. Awesome. If you feel like you can go a little deeper, we're going to lengthen forward. Maybe even that arm can add a little bit to the stretch. And get into the outer thigh. It's a variation on pigeon pose. A breath or two into it, maybe you want to fold even deeper. Yogi's choice. And wherever you are, we'll just find your way back up. And let that side go. I'm going to get the other side. I'm going to take my left foot to my right, and again start off with personal massage. Self-care, giving every toe, the pads of the foot, the arch of the foot, everything gets a little attention. A little, hi, I'm here, thank you. And then we're going to circle, circle, circle the ankle, and reverse direction. 3, 2, and 1. Again, check in with this side. Let this side be its own posture. Inhale up high. Maybe this is enough, or maybe folding forward. And recognizing that today's posture might be different than yesterday's posture. It might be different than tomorrow's posture. And different doesn't always mean deeper. So if yesterday I was able to touch the floor and today I'm not, that's okay. Progress isn't always linear. Sometimes we have our ups and our downs. If you feel you've taken a few breaths and you're ready to see if the next step is available, go ahead and take a peek. And as we mentioned, if not, that's great. Just check in. This is your practice. This is for you. It's not beneficial for me or you or anyone to go too far and then wind up with pulled muscles. Or other issues. Coming back up. And we'll let that side go. And let's get into opening the shoulders and across the heart a little bit. So you can stay where you are. I'm going to turn around so you can see what my arms are doing. And I'm going to pat the back with the right hand and grab the elbow with the opposite and just lift the heart a little bit here. Open the shoulder. That side, get the blood back to the fingers, and switch to the other side. Grab the elbow, Okay, now I'm going to clasp the hands behind the back. Again, you can still be seated for this if you have room. And if you have no room behind you, but you don't have arms, you could sit sideways on the chair and do this sideways. Wherever you are, just make sure the feet are planted. I'm clasping the fingers behind the back and I'm opening across the heart. So it's not a high arch. I'm not lifting up and back. I'm not stretching the neck right now. I'm just drawing the shoulder blades together behind me, maybe even thinking about bringing the elbows together, right? Like that could be a faraway thought, but just imagining what that might be like. So it doesn't mean just because that will help us switch from thinking about reaching the knuckles to the floor to elbows drawing together. To opening across the heart. And let that go. Let's shake it out, just a breath. And if you needed to stand up to make room as well, go ahead and come back down to sit. I'm going to bring the palms together out in front of me. I'm going to bring my left elbow to my right knee. I'm going to take my right hand in my left hand. My fingers are pointing to the front of the room and press to lift up and open a little deeper. My heart is trying to get up towards my palms. Look up over the right shoulder, big twist. Return to the center. This is just like the twist we do in chairs, and right elbow over to the left from the chair pose when we're standing in a traditional class. But this time you have an actual physical chair to sit in. So looking up over the left shoulder, fingers pointing to the front of the room, press the left into the right to lift even higher. And return to center. And with our palms together, let's just rub the hands for a second, get them nice and warm, especially if they're not already. And we'll bring that warmth over the eyes. Go ahead and close the eyes and bring that warmth over the eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, even actually connecting the palms to the face. Give the optic nerve a rest. Screens, TVs, computers, phones especially, causing lots of eye strain. Let's give them a break from time to time throughout the day. Bring it over to the temples. And let's go ahead and rest the palms back in the lap. Lastly, we'll just take a gentle head shake. So I'm going to move the nose over to the right, really slowly. Back through the center and over to the left. If your eyes are open, lead with the eyes. So the eyes go to the right first, and then the head follows. The eyes go to the left first, and then the head follows. Next time you're on the left, let this be your last one. And return to center. If they're not already, do go ahead and close the eyes, and we'll just finish by grounding here. Perhaps bring the hands stacked one on top of the other over the heart. Feel the warmth of your own hands at the heart. Allow this to be another self-soothing, self-care moment. Just take one slow breath. Inhale through the nose and release out the mouth.